Hey everyone, it's GT. So I am trying something new this week in our private career support group here on Facebook, and that is we're taking a look at some of the most interesting conversations that have happened in this group, and I'm going to be giving you some insider perspective based on those conversations. So now that we have over 30,000 members and counting, we are the fastest growing private career support group and free on Facebook. We think it's time to start to highlight those discussions and get more of you learning and growing from them, because that's what this is really about. So last week, a really interesting conversation came up with one of our members, Chris, and Chris told us the story of how she chose to turn down a job opportunity with an employer based on the interactions that she had with this employer. And she does an amazing job of really recounting the details. So I'm going to hyperlink in this when we post it later on so you can go back and see Chris's discussion and all the commentary from fellow members. But what really struck me as odd or interesting here was the way the events unfolded as warning signals to Chris that something wasn't right with this organization. And she said at the end that she was proud of herself that she walked away from this opportunity. And even though she walked away and knew it was right, that this wasn't a good company for her to work with, that it felt odd to her. It felt weird. And I agree, because we've all been trained to think that if we get a job offer, we should take it. We haven't really been taught to shop for an employer. There's this outdated mode of beggars can't be choosers. If a job's placed in front of you, you should take it. But really smart, strategic people, businesses of one, that's what we call you, because really that's what you're doing. You're marketing your services to an employer. You want to work with an employer. You want to partner, have a business partner for your business of one, as opposed to working for them and feeling kind of like golden handcuffed to a company. And that's what we're trying to break free of here at Work It Daily. We're trying to teach you how to do that. And so Chris did this for herself. She did stand up and say, for my business of one, my partnership, I'm not feeling respected. I'm not trusting this company. I'm not thinking this is going to be a good partnership. And that was the right thing to do, but it still felt weird to her. And that's not what I want her to feel. I want her to feel completely confident walking away. So I wanted to talk about that today for all of you, because you have to completely get comfortable with this idea that not every opportunity is going to be the right fit for you. And it starts with having a set of criteria that companies meet your standards. I love to tell people you shouldn't be a job seeker, you should be a job shopper. And really good job shoppers do their homework. They have an interview bucket list. We teach you how to create an interview bucket list at Work It Daily. And these are companies that have earned your admiration, your trust, and your respect for very specific reasons. And what you need to do is take the time to figure out why I feel connected to that company. Why do I respect them, trust them, admire them? What has taught me that what they do is different, better, special, that is worthy of my admiration, respect, and trust? And when you really take the time to dissect this is an exercise that everyone should do. You start to get clear on your criteria. Now, we have another exercise we have people do that helps them understand their must-haves, their nice-to-haves, and their don't-wants. And then how do they organize that information and really get to the essence or the core so that they can evaluate each and every employer based on these. Now, you're not going to know them when you first start reaching out to companies or you first start interviewing to companies. And that's another place where I think people feel bad, is they go, oh my gosh, I applied to this company, then I started the process and realized they weren't a fit. And now it's awkward because I initiated that. I feel like I'm kind of backing out. You're not. This is an exploratory phase of a partnership, and it may take you an interview or two, or maybe even 3, for you to get all the data you need to figure out whether or not they meet your criteria. Now, at any given time, if they don't meet your must-haves, that baseline thing that you need to feel successful and confident in your career, then this is essentially a deal breaker company for you. And you're going to want to extricate yourself from this interview process. And the best thing to do at that point is to be honest. You don't send them an email. You don't say, hey, it's not you, it's me. You be honest. You call the person, whether it's the recruiter, HR manager, hiring manager, whoever's been leading you through the process, and you say, you know what? I appreciate the opportunity to discuss this position with you. And I wouldn't be doing this justice if I continued along. I've recognized that right now at this stage in my career, because things always change, at this stage in my career, this is not the right opportunity for me. It doesn't meet some of the core criteria I need to be successful. And I don't want to take a job where I can't be successful on my terms, because I am a service provider and I've got to deliver you that service. So I'm just going to take myself out of this situation, but I would love to stay in touch with you. You know, if things change down the line, either for myself or for you, maybe we can work together down the line. I just know that I'm not doing you any favors by keeping myself in the running here. And that is the right and respectful way to do it. Don't get defensive, don't point out what they did wrong. Don't try to blame them. This is just a simple take the emotion out of it scenario where your criteria, you've listed them out, are not being met. And it's not right to take it if they're not being met. And I promise you folks that when you go through this exercise and when you treat these situations this way with objectivity and fact, and you take the emotion out of it, you will not feel bad when you walk away. And I'm sure if Chris hopefully sees this, she will think about it and say, it's true. I made a logical decision and this didn't fit my criteria and I did them a favor by not moving forward. And I think that that's so important for all of us to understand, because there will come a day when you get good, when you become a job shopper and truly respect yourself as a business of one who wants to partner with companies, there will come the day where you need to turn down an organization. And in Chris's case, they weren't being very nice. And so she knew this wasn't the right place. But I've seen situations where the company's being really nice and really great. They're just not a fit. And that makes it even harder to feel like you're walking away. But this is business. You've got to take your emotion out of it. You've got to look at your facts. Your needs wouldn't be met. You wouldn't be satisfied and happy. You wouldn't be able to do a good job. And that's the truth. You own your truth. You be accountable for it. You share it with the employer and you move on. And I will tell you, I have seen situations where people do this. And as a result, the company comes around, especially if it's a good company that you like. Because once you tell them what you need to be successful, do they really want to hire somebody that won't be successful? Of course not. They want you to be happy because they want you to produce the greatest return on the investment. And so some companies will rise to the occasion, others won't, and that's all right. That's business. That's how it works. You move on. You find your next opportunity. You find your next business partner. Okay. Well, I hope that helped everyone. Great conversation. Please check out the link that I've connected to this in the comments. You will see this conversation with Chris. And for those of you, if anybody's seeing this on the outside, come join our private Facebook group. It is the fastest growing private career support group. The people in here are amazing, having really honest dialogues about very interesting topics. And I will be continuing to share at least once or twice a week with all of you my own thoughts on some of these really interesting conversations that are revealing themselves. So thank you for your contributions. The more, the better. And I will see you next time here on an episode of Help Me JT.